Getting reverted at Cape May. I have gotten a few questions and comments about getting reverted, and I've even had some parents whose kids are at Cape May right now and who have gotten reverted and are asking for tips and advice and just why did this happen. So getting reverted is an unfortunate reality of Coast Guard basic training. It basically means that for whatever reason, your company commander feels that you are not on pace with where the company's at right now and that you require a little bit more time in training. And it could be for specific reasons, like you didn't pass a certain test and maybe you've already had the retest and you didn't pass that either. It could be for disciplinary reasons. It could just be for failure to adapt. But the big thing I want to stress is that don't worry too much about getting reverted. It would be an inconvenience, that's true. It's definitely not something that you would want to have to do for longer. So having to spend an extra week or 2 weeks at Cape May would not be good for the morale. I understand that. But for one thing, it's not going to follow you in your Coast Guard career. Once you graduate boot camp, nobody's going to care. If you were reverted, nobody's even going to know unless you tell them. It is a very short-term, temporary inconvenience. But it is not something that has to destroy your morale or your success in the Coast Guard. Something else to consider is that if you're getting reverted, it doesn't mean that you're not capable of graduating. It just means that for whatever reason, your CCs think that you need a little bit more time. If they didn't think you were fit to serve at all, they would just kick you out, and they're not doing that. So it's really just an opportunity to take the lessons learned from the experience and applying that going forward. I can't give an end-all be-all answer to why you get reverted and what things to do to not get reverted, because there is some subjectivity to it, unfortunately. CCs are people also, and they're not perfect. So there could be a myriad of reasons why you might get reverted, and unfortunately sometimes it might not be fair. But I will say that if you're watching this video right now, it's likely you won't get reverted. And the reason I say that is because if you're watching me right now, that means you either are thinking about joining the Coast Guard, you just joined the Coast Guard, or you're about to ship off to boot camp and you're trying to be proactive in finding ways to better prepare for boot camp. The fact that you're thinking that way now tells me that you will likely do well in basic training because you want to succeed and you are just thinking about the right sorts of things to think about. When I was in basic training, we actually had a member get fake reverted. So they went through the whole process of getting reverted, and then they were like, haha, just kidding, and they brought him back. But he had to pack up his whole locker and everything, his whole Coast Guard existence, and move it to a new squad bay. And then later that day they said, never mind, come on back. Not sure exactly why they did that, but I think that probably had something to do with scaring people straight. I think it was effective. I think that it helped kind of just refine a couple of loose ends that maybe some people were having. But I guess I would just say the key takeaway, if you're reverted, you have the advantage of experience. You've been a little longer than whatever company you're going to, and that does count for something. You also know what you did wrong. You know why you were reverted, and you have a little bit of extra knowledge ahead of your shipmates. Again, that matters because week to week things change and new challenges come along. So I would hasten to guess that you actually could thrive. after getting reverted, because you have a specific goal in mind of what to do to overcome whatever challenge you faced to get reverted. If you do get reverted, please don't let it demoralize you. Please don't think, oh, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have joined, I made a mistake in coming here, because you didn't. You joined for whatever reasons you joined for. Those reasons are still valid, and just because you needed a little bit of extra time, it doesn't mean really anything other than that you're going to get a little bit more experience and you're going to be better equipped when you get out into the fleet. If you're a parent and you just found out that one of your kids in boot camp got reverted, don't let it demoralize you. Be a support person for your son or daughter, and let them know that you're still proud of them and that you are happily looking forward to them coming home, and because that's what they need to hear more than anything. Boot camp is not easy. It's not a walk in the park, despite what people from other salty people from other branches might tell you. It's not a walk in the park. So facing challenges is part of the game, and getting reverted is okay. Doesn't mean that you're not capable, that you're not going to make a great Coast Guardsman or woman in your career. So anyway, I hope that helps. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or thoughts, and I will try to answer to the best of my ability. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.